discuss the solution of the problem job sequencing problem. So let us look at the problem statement. The problem statement says given a set of n jobs where each job I has a deadline and a profit associated with it, each job takes 1 unit of time to complete and only one job can be scheduled at a time. Beyond the profit associated with a job if and only if the job is completed by its deadline, find the number of jobs done and the maximum profit. So let us try to understand this problem statement with the help of an example. So let us say this is the job description which is given to us. Now with this jobs description which we have, the maximum profit we can obtain is by performing this job and this job. So the total profit associated over here is 100 plus 27, which is 127. And the number of jobs which we will be able to do is 2. So there is one details which we have to be aware of, which is both jobs should end by second timestamp. So for this, what we are going to do is from 0 to first timestamp and first to second timestamp, these jobs can be scheduled. So what we can do is the first job we can schedule it over here, which is 100. And the second job we can schedule it over here, which is 27. And in this way we will be able to schedule these two jobs, and because of which the total profit associated with it is 127 and the number of jobs is 2. Sorry folks, over here also this is 127, and this is what we are going to return. So that's about the problem statement folks. Now let us discuss the solution of this problem. So let us say this is the job sequence which is given to us and our objective is to maximize our profit. Since the objective is to maximize the profit, so what we are going to do is we are going to sort this sequence on the basis of profit in descending order. And why on the basis of descending order? Because we want to operate on maximum profit, and then from maximum profit we will move towards minimum profit. Because of which we are going to sort the job sequence on the basis of profit in descending order. So let us sort it on the basis of profit in descending order. So this is the sorted job sequence. Along with this, we will have a slots used array which indicates whether the ith slot has been used or not. And the initial value for all these slots will be false, indicating that none of the slots have been used so far. Now what we are going to do is we are going to take one job at a time and we are going to check whether it is possible for us to find a slot for that job or not. So for instance, in this case, the first job which we are picking is job ID 1, which is the first job over here. The deadline associated with this job is 2 and the profit associated is 100. So the deadline is 2 and profit is 100. Now as we know, this job has to be concluded by this timestamp, which is second timestamp. Now as we can see, the second timestamp slot is unused, because of which we will be able to schedule this job, and the total profit which we have incurred so far is 100. And the total number of jobs which we have done so far is 1, which is this job. And once we have scheduled a job on a particular slot, we are going to mark this value as true, indicating that this slot has been used. Now let us move to the second job. The second job is this. So the job ID for second job is 3. Deadline is 2 and profit associated with this is 27. So over here, as we can see, the deadline for this job is 2. So let us find a slot for this job. So we are going to start from this timestamp and we are going to check whether this slot is available for us or not. At this timestamp, the slot is not available, because of which we are going to move towards the left of it. And at this position, we can see that this slot is available. Since this slot is available, because of which the total number of jobs which we will be able to do so far is, we are going to increment this value. So initially this value was 1 and now this value will be increased by 1. So this becomes 2, and the total profit will be increased by this profit. So the initial profit was 100, and for this job the profit associated is 27. So we are going to get the total profit as 127. And similarly, this value we are going to mark it as true, indicating that slot 1 and slot 2 has been used so far. Now let us move to the next job ID. So the next job ID which we have is this job ID, where the job ID is 4, deadline is 1, and profit is 25. So for this job ID, let us look at our slots used array. So as the deadline is 1, so the job has to be scheduled either at this position or before to this position. Now as we can see, at this position the value is already occupied, or this slot is already occupied, the first slot is already occupied, and there isn't exist any zeroth slot. So over here, please note the slots starts from 1 itself, because of which we will not be able to schedule this job, and the total number of jobs and profit remains the same. And similarly for all other jobs, if you see job ID 2 or job ID 5, there the deadline is 1. Since all the slots are already occupied, so as we can see over here, all the slots before to 1 or 1 is already occupied, because of which these two jobs also we will not be able to schedule. Job 2 and job 5 we will not be able to schedule, and the total number of profits and the number of jobs we will get is 2 and 127, and this is what we are going to return. So that's the discussion of solution, folks. Now let us discuss the pseudocode of this problem. So let's say we want to schedule jobs, and an array of jobs is given to us, and the total number of job is given to us. So first we are going to use a used array, which is slots used. Initial value is all false, and the size of this array is n plus 1. Then we will have the profit or the max profit, which is equals to 0 initially, and the number of jobs, again this value is also equals to 0. Then the first thing which we are going to do is we are going to sort the array on the basis of profit in descending order. So let us sort it. So arr dot sort, and we want to sort it on the basis of profit. So let us sort it on the basis of profit x dot profit, and we want to sort it in the descending order, because of which reverse equals to true. And in this way we will be able to sort the job on the basis of profit in descending order. Now once we have sorted it on the basis of descending order, let us iterate on individual jobs. So for job in arr, the first thing which we are going to do is we are going to find out the deadline of this job. So deadline equals to job dot deadline. Once we have deadline for a job, then let us check whether this job can be scheduled using the used array. So the way we will be able to do it is while deadline is greater than 0, and if deadline used is not true, which simply means it is false, then on that particular slot we will be able to schedule this job. And since we have scheduled that job on that slot, so because of which we are going to mark this slot as used, and we are going to update our profit and numbers of jobs accordingly. So the profit will be equals to profit plus job profit, so job dot profit, and the number of jobs will be increased by 1. And let's say if this slot is already occupied, then we are going to look for another slot, and the way we will be able to do this is by decrementing deadline by 1. And one more thing, folks, once we have found a slot, then we are going to break from this loop, and in this way we will be able to compute our maximum profit and the number of jobs, and towards the end all we have to do is we need to return num jobs and the profit we have obtained so far. So that's the pseudocode, folks. Now let us see how we have implemented this in Python and C++. So first let us look at the Python implementation. So in the Python implementation, the first thing which we have done is we have sorted the job on the basis of profit in descending order, and then we took a used or slots used array. Initially the value is false. Then we have total profit incurred, and then we have these two variables, which is profit and number of jobs. Then we are iterating on each job and we are checking whether that job can be scheduled or not. If that job can be scheduled, then the profit and the numbers of jobs will be incremented appropriately, and towards the end we can just return number of jobs and profit. So that's the Python implementation, folks. Now let us submit our solution. Now let us look at the C++ implementation. So the C++ implementation is also the same. We have a used array with us, and initially all the values are false, then a profit and number of jobs and answer vector. Then we are sorting the job on the basis of profit, and once we have sorted it, we are iterating on the jobs. Then for each job we are checking whether we will be able to schedule this job or not. If we are able to schedule this job, then the profit and the number of jobs will be increased appropriately, and towards the end we are populating our answer and returning the answer vector. So that's the C++ implementation, folks. Now let us submit our solution. Folks, looks like there is some problem with the website and we are not able to submit solution at the moment, but I'll be pasting the code in the comment box. You can look into the code and try submitting the solution on your own. So that is all from this video, folks. In case if you have any question or comment regarding this video, please feel free to use the comment section and I'll try to address them. Thank you.